extra live because I know so many of us are struggling with what's going on right now in the world and are feeling pretty helpless about the fires and now the floods and all the we've just got a real imbalance here on the planet of all the water in one direction and all the fire in another direction. So that we come together um, and extra live because I know.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So anyway, if you're new to me, my name is Joan Renquet. I'm an animal communicator, healer, author, and founder of Communication with All Life University. I've started the school to help people obviously communicate with animals, learn techniques that are going to help animals energetically, physically, and then of course there's a lot of people are doing it so that they can become animal communicators or energy healers. We also have a very big nature and wildlife component that's being built out, and lots of lots of exciting things coming. We've got the intensive coming up, and if you're sitting on the fence about that, we'd love to have you join us. Today we start the introduction to acupressure and meridian touch healing with Dr. Jill. So we are full on. If you want body work, we've got it. I'm going to be introducing something about lions here shortly. In a few weeks, we'll have a special guest on. So we're a one-stop shop these days. We've got body work, energy work, animal communication, wildlife, and I know the planet is really hurting right now, and I want to talk a little bit about that. And is anyone here?
Yeah, Shannon Meyer says, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
A couple of people.
Okay. So just to kind of get this party started, I believe that, as innocent little babies, that we all have an empath in us, and we've made choices along the way to either foster it or shut it down. And I really believe that people that we call narcissists are actually empaths that shut it down, and so we have these big hearts, and we have almost no place to put all that emotion unless we start learning things like boundaries and kind of our own energy management. And we address this throughout the 18 months of being in the big program. At some point, people learn boundaries, and they don't lose it over everything. We have choices about how we want to handle things. And so, but that's not okay, there goes my whole desk. Delilah is lying on all the cords. At some point, we make choices on how to handle that, and we can decide that we want to be proactive in something versus reactive, like we're constantly reacting to things. And those big emotions that we have can serve at the highest level if we have some energy management in place. And so one of the best tools I know of, other than the scalar wave, is tapping. So we're going to do some EFT tapping here in a few minutes. But what I think, and we're gonna do kind of a guided meditation prayer at the end of it for the animals that have been affected by it all. But in the meantime, I would love to hear what you're feeling about all of this, and if anyone has any comments. But the whole idea, like I've heard so many people saying, I can't handle going into a rescue right now, or I can't handle because it hurts my heart and I'll just sit and cry. And it's like, you know what I have to say about that? I want you to get some tools because the planet needs you right now. And if you have the tools, then you've got the capability of going and helping, of using that big emotion for the greater good. And there's been no other time that I know of. We all signed up for this. We all signed up for this. We're here. I don't know why we all signed up for this, but we did, you know? So I would love to hear how you're feeling about everything right now.
So Colette says, thank you, Joan, for this session. Kim Nishida says, thanks so much for this, Joan. So much heaviness lately. Penny says, she and Winston are here. Hi, Penny. Hi, Winston. Bonnie says, Landy Aspen and her are here. Emily Bray says, thanks for doing this. Jill Todd, hello, I'm so happy to be here. We all need to come together for our planet. Colette says, ramping up self-care helps with all of the intensity.
So true. And Claudia is sneaking off. She was like, and of course I out her because our dogs are being naughty. But self-care is huge at this time. And we need self-care. I mean, some people are, I'm writing the word heaviness because that was a good word.
Yeah.
Kim.
And Kim also said, thank you for the reminder that we are here for this.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. But the idea that there are people that can't even breathe. So the self-care comes in for the literal, and also the energetic and the emotional, so we have to really ramp up the self-care. Really well said, Colette.
Shannon Meyer says, feelings of not being able to do enough. Oh, that's a big one. Let me get some tissue.
I think that's my feng shui drawer. It's the other drawer.
Yeah.
She needs tissues. You might hand me one.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, you're with the tissue. What are?
For me, it's fear. Fear is a big one. I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody else?
It's gonna take a minute.
Okay, because if I can hear your feelings, I can incorporate it into a big universal script, and then we can really move through this together. And wherever we collectively heal, we're gonna, it'll vibrate out.
Gretchen Johnson says, feeling so enclosed, claustrophobic inside the house.
Oh yeah, because of there are people in New York City getting the smoke.
Colette also says sadness. Penny says sadness. Yeah, sadness.
Anything else?
Lisa Ranjar says, hold on, let's skip. For me, it's pain. My heart just hurts in sadness for all the animals and people affected by the fire. Gretchen Johnson says that not being able to renew her energy by being out in nature, hiking in the woods. Chris Wilson says feelings of sadness and anger of the people starting these fires.
Yep.
Christine Cole, grief. Frustration. Yes, Bernadette, we all need this. She says, thank you, Joan, so much. We all need this.
Thank you for being here.
I hope, I cannot remember her name. She put a post asking for help with helping the animals and the energy that she's feeling because of the fires and the animals and everything. And that's kind of what got you thinking about doing this. not being able to help those animals that are being affected by the fire because there's not really, what would you call that? Holding space?
Yeah, we're going to hold space, and it's going to be, this is something we do a lot in the particularly the fall intensive. We learn about holding space in the death and dying class and in the energy healing for animals, and so we'll do a little bit of that right now.
Emily, Colette, you killed me. Knowing as we sit here now, there's profound suffering happening. Emily says, struck with the global impact. First Australia, now California, Oregon, Washington, here in Colorado too. Jill Todd says she's worried about our future. Bonnie Bernard Irving says, feelings of being stuck in every aspect of life right now, seeing no way out. Mother Earth screaming to be heard. Bonnie Park says, sadness and anger with people in certain rescue groups making it about themselves and not keeping the animals.
And you know, it's so step one of this healing is getting, you know, saying it out loud, acknowledging it. So this is part, you know, and if I were, when I teach EFT, we have these sheets that kind of interview the person or the animal from the animal communication session. So having this interview, so to speak, with ourselves of really getting these feelings up and out. And I can tell you that I share all of these feelings, as I know that as you each voice these things, all of us are collectively going, yep, yep, yep. And so the more we get this out, the better we're going to be. And the thing about tapping is these are kind of feel-good points, not kind of, they are feel-good points. They're relaxing. Some of them are going to address the fight or flight in our body. So tapping, saying these awful things, right, while doing feel-good points is what moves us through this. And then eventually with the tapping, we'll move into a more perfect world. So I'd love to hear everybody's perfect world. I'll just start with mine. I would love for the balance of the planet to be that we have so much support here from humanity, that the earth naturally balances itself out, and that the earth, air, fire, water finds its correct channel, and that we don't have too much water on one side and too much fire on the other, that it's balanced.
Bonnie, that's mine too. You said what I couldn't. Bonnie Bernard Irving says peace and respect.
Peace and respect.
Kim Nishida, in a perfect world, we all come together in healing, love, and support for one another on the planet. Colette says honoring all life. Penny says cool, calm, collected.
All right.
Gretchen John says it skips. Everyone realizes they are part of the whole and works together for the best life for all humans and animals and plants. Yes. Tanya Hoffe says everyone loves everyone, no judgment. Kim Nishida, nature and balance.
Okay. All right, and for me, I'm going to probably refer, and you see me doing these crazy notes, I'll probably refer a bit to this, but just writing it down has an impact on your, writing it down to something to your brain, to something to your ability to remember. So I may refer to this, but I also
Rebecca Murray
have a pretty good idea of where we're going to go.
Rebecca Murray just said, we're getting them in. We got a bobcat burned yesterday at the rescue. So sad. Hey, I know I have to repeat after you, so.
Right. Rebecca, is there a way that you can get us a picture of that bobcat and we can put it in my university has a private Facebook group where we do a lot of healing, and yeah, we would love to have a picture of that. And maybe if you could put the picture of that bobcat on in this thread, we could have we could all hold space for her, and then my students and graduates can go to town, her or him.
So Jennifer Kurtzkolikoff says, as a highly sensitive and empathic person, feeling overwhelmed with the pain and suffering and checking out or avoiding connecting because it's too painful.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect world, honoring the oneness and interconnectedness of life, acknowledging the sovereignty of all beings and the Great Mother. Yeah. I like you.
Yeah.
Rebecca Murray says she'll try to do it tomorrow.
Okay, that would be so great. That would be so great.
Rebecca,
okay.
You could send it to me and I'll post it in there if you want.
Okay.
Or Joan. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them how we're going to do this? Because some of them, I'm wondering.
Yeah, because you maybe have never tapped before. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to ask, because Claudia had some she landed on my dog. She stubbed her toe over there. So I want.
I was fine until I went to go walk in the door.
Okay, so we're going to do a little polarity first. So you go from your right side to your left side, just swipe 6 to 8 times, and just let's really ground so that we take this in, so that we move out the feelings we don't want, so that we can be a true vessel for the healing that we see and are holding space for. So, okay. What we're going to do is you are going to, at home, even if you're in an office, you might mouth it. You're going to follow me and repeat. You're going to do what I do as far as tapping on these points. And I would recommend, normally it's a K27, but I would say we're going to tap on lung 1. And especially lung 1 is important for breathing. And we have our acupressure specialist, Dr. Jill Todd, here. She can tell the benefits of lung 1 after this. I don't want to distract people now, but lung 1 is going to be good if you're living in a smoky area. And it's also a great one for relieving grief, because the lung is connected to grief. So you're going to follow me physically, and then you're going to repeat after me as I say the phrases. So we're going to start with a setup phrase, and then we're going to tap through the points, and then afterwards we're going to kind of move through a meditation of our vision. So are we
I'm going to repeat after you so they could follow with me after
yeah.
you. Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions about that first?
Well, let's wait. Give it a second.
Okay.
I think we're heart.
Okay.
We're ready to go.
All right. Even though I can't do anything about this.
I can't do anything about this.
I can't even watch the news.
I can't even watch the news.
Because I don't want to see the victims.
Because I don't want to see the victims.
I am so distancing myself from this.
I am so distancing myself from this.
And yet when I walk outside, I smell it.
And yet when I walk outside, I smell it.
Or I see it on Facebook.
Or I see it on Facebook.
I can't get away from it.
I can't get away from it.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Even though this is so horrific.
This is so horrific.
I can't believe we're on fire now.
I can't believe we're on fire now.
First Australia. And now us. And there is no end in sight.
And there's no end in sight.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Even though I am filled with so much sadness.
Even though I am filled with so much sadness.
So much sadness.
So much sadness.
And I feel such loss.
And I feel such loss.
I honor the choices I'm making.
I honor the choices I'm making.
Tapping through the points. I hate this.
I hate this.
I can't stand this.
I can't stand this.
I can't believe this.
I can't believe this.
I cannot believe that our world is on fire.
I cannot believe that our world is on fire.
Or it's flooding.
Or it's flooding.
But this fire.
But this fire.
These fires.
These fires.
Australia first.
Australia first.
And now us.
And now us.
I can't stop thinking about it.
I can't stop thinking about it.
And when I think about it, I get so sad.
I get so sad.
I get so sad.
I get so sad.
I am 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 so sad for all the wildlife
I am so sad for all the wildlife
that doesn't know what's going on,
that doesn't know what's going on.
all that innocence,
All that innocence.
and their home is gone,
And their home is gone.
and their families are torn apart,
And their families are torn apart.
and they're just left,
And they're just left
scared,
scared,
not knowing what to do.
not knowing what to do.
And then I feel so sad for the animals that have been found,
And I feel so sad for the animals that have been found,
like that bobcat,
like that bobcat,
so burned
so burned
and so afraid,
and so afraid.
and it's so fucked up.
And it's so fucked up.
I cannot believe it.
I cannot believe it.
And I'm so, so afraid
And I'm so, so afraid
that this is just going to keep going,
that this is just keep going.
that we are in a really bad cycle.
That we are in a really bad cycle.
We are in a really bad cycle.
We are in a really bad cycle.
And I don't know if I can do this.
And I don't know if I can do this.
I am so sensitive.
I am so sensitive.
I am so sensitive.
I am so sensitive.
And I can't do this.
And I can't do this.
I feel so badly for all those people that lost their homes
I feel so badly for all those people that lost their home
and lost their family.
and lost their family.
What if their animals didn't get out?
What if their animals didn't get out?
And their animals didn't know what was going on.
And their animals didn't know what was going on.
And there they perish.
And there they perished.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
How are we living in this world?
How are we living in this world?
How are we living in this world right now?
How are we living in this world right now?
I am so sick of it.
I am so sick of it.
I don't want to always have bad news.
I don't want to always have bad news.
I don't want to have bad news all the time.
I don't want to have bad news all the time.
I am so sick of this.
I am so sick of this.
And I feel so helpless.
And I feel so helpless.
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 I am so helpless over this.
I am so helpless over this.
All I do is cry.
All I do is cry.
And I'm not helping.
And I'm not helping.
I am not helping.
I am not helping.
I can't stand that.
I can't stand that.
There's got to be something I could be doing.
There's got to be something I could be doing.
It makes me so sick.
It makes me so sick.
And to know that there are some of these fires are lit by humans,
And to know that some of these fires are lit by humans,
I'm so angry.
I'm so angry.
I am so angry.
I am so angry.
I am so angry.
I am so angry.
And to be quite honest,
And to be quite honest,
I am angry at this consumeristic society
I am angry at this consumeristic society
that just doesn't pay
that
attention.
just doesn't pay attention.
It's all about me,
It's all about me,
and I'm not even caring about the world.
and I'm not even caring about the world.
That makes me nuts.
That makes me nuts.
That's how this gets started,
That's how this gets started.
because there's too much
Because there's too much
and not enough caring.
and not enough caring.
There's too much
There's too much
and not enough caring.
and not enough caring.
And I care,
And I care.
and everyone I know
And
cares,
everyone I know cares.
and we can't do anything about it.
And we can't do anything about it.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
I am so frustrated.
I'm so frustrated.
And I carry such grief.
And I carry such grief.
I have so much grief around this.
I have so much grief around this.
I hate even seeing a tree burn.
I hate even seeing a tree burn.
I hate seeing the charred earth.
I hate seeing the charred earth.
I hate knowing that there's so many animals that are suffering.
I hate knowing that there's so many animals that are suffering.
And it's so hard to sit here knowing that there's so much suffering.
And it's so hard to sit here knowing that there's so much suffering.
And I feel the suffering.
And I feel the suffering.
I feel the suffering.
I feel the suffering.
I don't want to hold the suffering.
I don't want to hold the suffering.
I am really ready to release it.
I am really ready to release it.
I am releasing the suffering.
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 I am releasing this grief.
I am releasing this grief.
Because not all of it's mine.
Because not all of it's mine.
And I'm releasing my grief.
And I'm releasing my grief.
I'm releasing my grief.
I'm releasing my grief.
I am releasing my grief.
I am releasing my grief.
I am releasing my frustration.
I am releasing my frustration.
I'm releasing my frustration.
I am releasing my frustration.
And I am forgiving humanity.
And I am forgiving humanity.
I am forgiving humanity.
I am forgiving humanity.
That's really tough.
That's really tough.
I am forgiving humanity.
I am forgiving humanity.
I am voting for oneness.
I am voting for oneness.
I am going to make choices every day to be part of oneness.
I am going to make choices every day to be part of oneness.
I am part of the 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 oneness.
My little being right here is part of the oneness.
My little being right here is part of the oneness.
And when we connect,
and when we connect,
and we collect,
and we collect,
we are a powerful force for good.
We are a powerful force for good.
I am part of that.
I am part of that.
I am that.
I am that.
I am that.
I am that.
That I am.
That I am.
I am feeling peace.
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 And now I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to sit in your heart for a moment. And really feeling that love, that oneness, that connection that we have with and for each other and our own animals. The oneness that we feel right now and the connection we feel in our hearts with each other that's on this call, on this live, and that we take this moment to let it be a calling, that our hearts are, through this connection, are now expanding out over the fires, almost as if we could create a collective rain cloud. And as we see these fires going out, we see the nature being restored. Our collective hearts also drop in down onto the earth and help those that are lost or wounded or suffering. And let's just take a moment and send that love in. Restoring peace and balance here on planet Earth. And let's expand beyond the fires with this love and connection. The former fires, the wet earth. And let's extend it around the globe so that our love and connection is healing the planet. And that our love and connection is actually connecting up the oneness with all of humanity, and that the reflection from humanity is the balance of the earth, the earth, air, fire, water, all of it is restored to perfect harmony and love. And let's just feel that in our heart and our extended planet. And as we bring our awareness back to our little group and then back to our own hearts, I want you to remember that we have this and that we have the ability to hold space and that we are grounded and connected and one, and that by being that, we can reflect that out all day, every day. Amen, and so it is. And when you feel ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I'm hoping there was some peace there with everybody. Did you feel it?
Yeah, I felt a lot of shifts.
Yeah, me too. And the animals at different times were sighing, so I knew we were, yeah, Barnaby was sighing up a storm.
Out.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's out. Abby's in her S position. The others have found, Penelope's under there and Delilah's in her spot in the kitchen.
Rebecca Marie says yes. Jennifer Kurtz-Kolikoff says, thank you, Joan, that was beautiful.
It was big.
That was big.
Yeah.
That was big. Lisa Ranjarv says, thank you for that. Yes, I felt it. Shannon Meyer says, awesome, thanks so much. Feeling so much peace.
I feel so much peace too.
Yeah. Bernadette says, in a perfect world, love will prevail over all. Chris Wilson says, thank you.
Thank you.
Jill Todd says, huge in capital letters. I love you, Jill.
I love Jill.
Deborah Nugent Barnes says, that was beautiful. I certainly felt it. Colette says, wow, powerful. The floodgates open, then peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kim Nishida says, lots of energy moving, feeling more peaceful. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I know that I'm going to have, I'm just going to let it.
The waves, yeah.
Throughout the day.
You know, we just have to remember we are not alone, and when we connect up, we're so much more powerful. Yeah. The problem with this mic is you're going to hear my stomach growling, and I'm on a cleanse. So I'm hungry.
So Bonnie Bernard Irving says, thank you. Katie Cummings says, so beautiful and powerful. Big love, thank you. Linda Day says, thank you. I didn't realize how deep my pain was. Yeah. Tanya says, beautiful. Jill Tot says, thank you for using lung one. It helped with our lung chi. I should know better. Sorry. Bonnie Park says, thank you. Yeah, and I've taken
the class, and you're going to take the advanced tomorrow.
What is it that I used to give you guys a hard time for? What's the one? Anyway, doesn't matter. Kim Nishida says, me too. Christine Cole says, feeling light and warm.
Good.
Okay.
You know, Christine Cole is a perfect example of someone who has, I'm bragging about her, but also the power of the program, and I know she's working with Allison Roberts. I have watched... Christine Cole is like the poster child for being that very empathic and almost painfully too empathic to now coming into her power. And so it is, for me, I just really want to point out for the people that feel overly sensitive and can't connect that I encourage you to know that at least in this group, it's a sacred circle, and it's... we have to connect.
Yeah.
We have to connect.
Penny Renfrew says thank you. Christine says thank you. Shannon Myers, thanks for the laugh, Claudia. Here to be of service. Bernadette says thank you so much. That was powerful, made me cry. Colette says, thank you, Joan, and everyone in this group for this amazing energy. Emily Bray says, thank you. Christy Goddard Bezant says, so beautiful, so much release.
Yeah, and we'll put this up as the announcement, so it will be easy to find. And if you need to, do it again, it's here. And then, it's interesting because I had planned to do this. It was on my list of videos I wanted to make in general. But today we're actually going to make a video about evacuation because when I first moved to Colorado in 2000, there was a huge wildfire, and I lived in Golden, Colorado, and I'll explain this in the video. But I between where I boarded my horses and where I lived, was the fairgrounds where all the animals were evacuated to. And so I went and volunteered. I was new, went and volunteered. And then I found out where all the people got trained. And then I got trained for evacuation services. And so I'm just going to put some tips together in a video for people because even though you may not think that it's applicable to you, maybe you don't live in fire zones or hurricane zones. I mean, at this point, fires are burning through neighborhoods that you wouldn't have thought, and so quickly. So I'll be putting that together. It won't be in my newsletter this week, but it'll be in my newsletter next week, and then we'll share it in here after that. So
you have it for fires, hurricanes, earthquakes, all of it.
I've lived through all of them, so I've got the kit, and then mini kits. A kit that can go, a kit that stays. Anyway, I'll go over it.
Tanya Hoffley says, I felt the energy surging through my hands. I need to stop talking.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.